Frenkie De Jong regretted, "I wish I had gone to Manchester." Manchester United qualified for the next round of the Europa League by eliminating Barcelona. Barcelona have been shown as the favourites of the Europa League this season due to their great form chart, but Manchester has shown that this is not the case. One of the players eliminated in Barcelona was Frenkie De Jong. De Jong, who was expected to arrive in Manchester at the beginning of the season, could not be convinced and stayed in Barcelona. De Jong, who also had problems with the Barcelona management, regretted that he did not leave the team after Barcelona's elimination. According to the Sun newspaper, De Jong talked to coach Erik ten Hag and said he wanted to come to Manchester during the summer transfer window. Ten Hag still likes him very much and wants him on the team. But he hasn't made a clear decision for the end of the season, and De Jong will have to wait for Ten Hag's decision. So what is your opinion on this matter? Would you like De Jong to come in the summer? Manchester United very interested in signing Atlanta striker Rasmus Højlund. Manchester United are very interested in signing Atlanta striker Rasmus Højlund this summer, according to Danish magazine Tipsbladet. The 30-year-old is unlikely to be signed permanently, however, and the club is expected to pursue a young forward when the transfer window reopens. However, there is still a long road to agreeing on a transfer given that there is great rivalry between clubs from all over Europe. Juventus, Milan, Real Madrid, Napoli and Arsenal follow the Danish star, who is currently valued at €15 million by Atlanta. The 20-year-old transferred from Sturm Graz to Atlanta at the end of August. He contributed only 1 goal and 1 assist in 12 games before the World Cup. However, his form has been excellent since the beginning of this year. Højlund has 6 goals and 1 assist in the last 10 games. Thus, he began to show his true potential. His playing style can also be compared to Erling Haaland, as he is left-footed, strong-built and skilled in speed. If United are serious about signing him, they may need to start off negotiations early, as there could be a huge bidding war for his services at the end of the season. Manchester United scouting 2 informed strikers, right-back also on radar. Manchester United are keeping a close eye on the 3 players ahead of the summer transfer window, according to well-known journalist Fabrizio Romano. It looks like the Red Devils will be on the hunt for an important striker at the end of the season, and the club is already linked to Napoli's Victor Ossaman and Benfica's Gonçalo Ramos. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Romano confirmed that the club is genuinely interested. Meanwhile, the club is closely monitoring Ramos' situation. The 21-year-old player, who scored a hat-trick for Portugal in the World Cup, has a €120 million release clause in his contract. Marcus Rashford has given a great performance for United this season. He made 24 goals and 8 assists in 37 games in all competitions. However, no one else in the squad has touched double figures in terms of goals. Bruno Fernandes has scored 7 times. Anthony Martial and Antony have 6 goals apiece. The Red Devils need a forward with a real goal threat. Martial showed promise under manager Erik ten Hag, but spent most of the time on the sidelines. The French player has identified 5 separate injuries, and there are suggestions that United will confirm his permanent departure when the transfer window reopens in the summer. Ramos is nearly 3 years younger than Ossaman and is much better with his link-up play in the final third. He could be signed for a much lesser fee than the Nigerian star. Manchester United activated the £100 million clause. Football Insider analysis shows Man United have doubled the club's overdraft. United's annual accounts, which were released on Tuesday, show that the club actioned a £100 million drawdown on a revolving credit facility on October 3 last year, taking the total drawdown to £200 million. United has the option to take an additional £100 million into an overdraft with a fixed interest rate agreed with a private lender. The latest drawdown does not necessarily mean that the Red Devils will use the entirety of the additional £100 million, merely that they have the option to do so. Manchester United making overtures to land 24-year-old African marksman. Manchester United are knocking on the doors of Naples to sign Victor Ossaman. Manchester United are knocking on the doors of Naples to buy the services of Nigerian international Victor Ossaman, according to Italian media. The Red Devils want to sign the 24-year-old actor. However, any team that wants to capture the striker's signature will have to pay a transfer fee in excess of €140 million. Napoli are flying high at the moment. The Patanopei are at the top of the Serie A table. They are on course to lift their first Scudetto in over 3 decades. At United, Erik ten Hag currently holds Anthony Martial and Wout Weghorst for the number 9 position. However, Martial is unreliable due to injury issues. As a result, the Dutch manager has had to count on Marcus Rashford to find the back of the net consistently. The 25-year-old has shouldered the burden of the Red Devils' attack in the current campaign. So the Old Trafford side could clearly do with someone like Ossaman at the front. The Nigerian proved to be a prolific scorer. Erik ten Hag rules Anthony Martial out of Carabao Cup final, unsure over Marcus Rashford's fitness. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag briefed on the injury status of Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford ahead of Sunday's Carabao Cup final against Newcastle United. The Red Devils beat Barcelona 2-1 to reach the last 16 of the Europa League. They will face Real Betis at home and away next month. The immediate focus will now turn to the League Cup final at the Wembley Stadium this weekend, and ahead of the clash, ten Hag has offered an update on Martial and Rashford. Martial has not appeared for the Red Devils since his goal against Nottingham Forest in the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final played on February 1. Ten Hag has confirmed that Martial will not take part on Sunday, despite his return to individual training. The Dutch coach, meanwhile, is unsure of Rashford's suitability. He was battling a foot injury before making the change yesterday and was seen limping as he left Old Trafford. When pressed about Rashford's availability for Sunday's final, ten Hag insisted there were no updates on his condition and that the club would know more after necessary medical checkups. Rashford has been in sensational form for United since the World Cup. He scored 16 goals in 18 matches and helped the club win the vast majority of their matches. Rashford should be fit for Sunday's Wembley showdown. If he does not make the squad, ten Hag will expect someone else from the squad to step up for the big occasion. Wout Weghorst could get another chance to lead the line on Sunday. One thing is for sure, the manager will have no excuse if United don't lift the trophy. Wout Weghorst criticized for getting exposed in Europa League clash. Manchester United enjoyed a 2-1 win over Barcelona on Thursday, sealing their place in the last 16 of the Europa League, but Wout Weghorst was one player who struggled on the night. The 30-year-old started up front at Old Trafford but was hooked at halftime after failing to take a shot or create a chance. Weghorst completed just 3 passes in 45 minutes and Jason Cundy believes he was exposed. Since joining Burnley on loan in January, Weghorst has made 11 appearances in all competitions, scoring 1 assist and 1 goal. United have no obligation to sign a permanent contract with the Dutch national team at the end of the season, so it is unlikely that he will be in Manchester after the summer.